No, you shouldn't. Man, people with no money have such cheap-looking watches. Want to have one of my old luxury watches? It's an honor to serve you as always, young Master Yosuke. If anyone should be called young master, it's me.
Yosuke, could you take a look at these documents, please?
Whoa, you startled me. Good work today, Kiritani.
Good work to you too. It was another scorching hot day out there.
Even though it's mid-September, the late summer heat is brutal. But my junior colleague, Makoto Kiritani, who is out on sales calls, looks as cool as a cucumber. You must be tired. I'll take those documents, so go get yourself something to drink. This is the 9th branch of Lovekoi Bank. I'm Yosuke Makabe, in my 5th year here, and I handle back office work in the loan department.
No, I think I'll just watch you work for a bit before I go back. It's like a nutrient for me.
Huh? A nutrient? In what way? Kiritani is a little eccentric. I'm not sure why she's so interested in a guy like me, but she's always like this. I taught her the ropes when she first joined the bank, and she's been attached to me ever since.
By the way, that guy was bragging about his high-rise apartment to me again. I've decided not to go on sales calls with him anymore.
He never changes, does he? So hot. Here, take these. Whoa. An arm reached out from behind me and carelessly dropped a new stack of documents on my desk. He looked exhausted, probably from the heat outside. That's Takuma Tojo. He joined the company at the same time as me, and we're both 28. Hey, Tojo, stop just dumping them on my desk like that. What's your problem? I'm doing you a favor by bringing them over. You could always come get them yourself, you know. Ugh, no way. What? What's with that attitude? You're really getting on my nerves. I could say the same thing to you. And, well, that's pretty much how it is with him. Dealing with Tojo's constant snide remarks is just another part of my job.
There goes Tojo again. Why does he always pick a fight he knows he's going to lose?
At first, our colleagues tried to lecture him, but now they're so used to it, they just watch with weary amusement. All right, time for lunch. Oh, Tojo, you haven't eaten yet? It was just afternoon. I was having lunch in the break room when Tojo, of course, showed up. Is that a problem? Unlike you paper pushers, we salespeople have irregular schedules. It's tough.
You say that, but we run into each other almost every day, don't we? It's like you're timing it on purpose.
I was thinking the same thing, but Tojo just ignored our colleague's comment. Anyway, Makabe, what's that thing? Looking at my hand, Tojo snorted derisively. I knew right away he was talking about my watch. Oh, this? It was broken for a long time, but I recently got it repaired. It's got a nice classic feel, don't you think? No way! What brand is that? Even for an office worker, you're still a banker. That's just sad. I'm not saying you need to wear the same brand as me, but you should at least have something you're not embarrassed to be seen with. Here we go again. Tojo's I'm a Little Rich lecture, ever since his life suddenly became filled with brand name goods. We joined the company at the same time, so there's no major difference in our base salaries or take-home pay. But apparently, Tojo made a nice profit from some investments, and now his wallet's feeling a bit heavy. I respect him for that, but it's a different story when he starts making fun of people. I don't really care about luxury brands. I like this one, even if it's not a famous brand. No, you shouldn't. Man, people with no money have such cheap-looking watches. Want to have one of my old luxury watches? They're all used, of course, but they're way more valuable than that cheap thing. I agree that luxury watches are certainly amazing. But Tojo pushes them on me so hard. You'd think he was a brand ambassador. I appreciate the thought. Besides, to me, there's nothing more valuable than this watch.
Yosuke! Are you bothering Yosuke on his break again? If you don't leave soon, you'll be late for your appointment, won't you? If you're going to be late, I could always go on that sales call for you. Thank you for the opportunity.
What? You're just trying to sneakily steal my client, you devious little... Not a chance. Hey, keep it down, you two. I don't mind you competing, but could you be a little quieter about it? Tojo and Kiritani are both in sales, and they've been fierce rivals ever since.
I'm sorry, Yosuke. Please enjoy the rest of your break in peace.
Ouch, ouch, ouch! Hey, Kiritani, is that any way to treat your senior colleague?
Shut up! Someone who does nothing but make snide remarks at Yosuke isn't someone I consider my senior. And stop bragging about your high-rise apartment.
What did you say? Sorry for all the noise.
Not at all. It's actually quite entertaining to watch. You're quite the popular guy, aren't you, Makabe?
And so, I received a rather meaningful smile from my veteran colleague, who was still in her newlywed bliss. This is a serious problem, Kiritani. You have absolutely no respect for me. Tonight is the 9th branch's office party. These parties, held a few times a year, are courtesy of our generous branch manager, Mr. Sumeragi. And even before the drinking started, Tojo was already making a scene, much to my and Kiritani's exasperation.
Hey now, Tojo. Don't cause any trouble at a party I'm hosting. That would be a serious problem indeed.
By the way, branch manager Sumeragi's blonde hair isn't dyed, it's natural. Apparently his father is half Japanese and half French, and his mother is French, making him a quarter with a higher ratio of French ancestry. Not at all, sir. Of course not. Ha ha.
I see. Well then, enjoy yourselves responsibly. And try not to disturb the other customers, all right?
Branch manager Sumeragi has a gentle smile, but he's known to be quite strict. It's also well known that he's still fiercely competitive with his peers from the head office.
Don't you think it's because he's so pathetic and lacks any real dignity?
Well, I guess if you think of it as part of Tojo's character, it might be kind of endearing.
No, not at all. You're too nice, Yosuke. But I think that's one of the wonderful things about you.
As soon as he was free from the branch manager, Tojo leaned forward and made a declaration, not just to Kiritani, but for some reason to me as well. Anyway, Kiritani, you seem to look down on me, so today I'm going to show you what real dignity looks like.
I don't remember asking for that.
Kiritani tried to stop him, bewildered, but Tojo paid her no mind and started chugging down extra drinks he'd ordered. Hey, Tojo, trying to show your dignity by drinking a lot is so outdated. Shut up! You two drink up too. What? Why do we have to? My squabbles with Tojo, it's incredibly frustrating that they're becoming a famous attraction at this branch. But Tojo was so persistent that Kiritani and I reluctantly decided to go along with him. You're cheating.
You know, your reaction is actually a little entertaining today, Tojo.
Wow, Kiritani, you're keeping pace with Tojo, but you're totally fine?
Yes, the drinks are delicious, aren't they, Yosuke?
It seems Kiritani is what you'd call a heavyweight drinker. She's drinking even more than me, and I'm known for being able to hold my liquor, so she's probably on another level. I never thought much of it before, but I had no idea she could drink this much. She's incredible.
Oh dear, he's completely wasted, Makabe. I'm counting on you to look after him.
Yes, sir. Faced with that smiling, non-negotiable pressure, I, his subordinate, had no choice but to obey.
I'm so sorry, Yosuke. If only I had handled him a bit better, this wouldn't have happened.
And with Kiritani looking at me so apologetically, I resigned myself to taking care of Tojo. No, it's not your fault, Kiritani. Well, no choice. I guess I'll take him home. See, trading cards are filled with a man's sense of romance. You've told me that story at least 10 times on the way here, Tojo. The man stumbled, leaning his full weight on me. I never realized a drunk adult could be this heavy. On top of that, the alcohol made Tojo even more talkative than usual, and once he started talking about his hobbies, he just wouldn't stop. Trading cards. He's particularly obsessed with something called love koi cards. He usually just brags about his luxury watches, but I bet what he really wants to show off are his trading cards.
I can't believe this is the same guy who was talking about showing his dignity. What a disgrace.
What did you say? Hey, stop shouting. You're gonna disturb the neighbors. This is a problem. Looks like I'll have to take him all the way inside his apartment. I've never been to Tojo's place, but I know the address. That's because the guy lives in a high-rise apartment. He's bragged about it so much my ears are about to fall off. This is the tower I live in. A place you could never afford, right? I could invite you over.
No, I'll pass.
We've had that exact conversation more times than I can count. I'm sorry, Kiritani, for making you carry his stuff. You don't have to come all the way inside with us.
No, I can't let you do that. I can't leave you alone in a house with him. Besides, this is partly my fault. I'm sorry, Yosuke.
No, don't worry about it. I couldn't leave you to deal with them all by yourself. Even at a time like this, she's more worried about me than herself. She's such a kind person. Young master. Isn't it young master? The person who called out to us was the building manager of Tojo's high-rise. His eyes were sparkling with an almost unnerving intensity. Young master? What's this all about? Well, yeah. I do live in a place like this, so I guess being called young master isn't so far off. So, what do you think? This is the high-class tower I live in. I'm not sure if the shock sobered him up, or if his drunk brain was still misfiring, but Tojo took the opportunity to get cocky. But then... It's an honor to serve you as always, young Master Yosuke.
Huh?
What? What? Ah, looks like he's finally sobered up for real this time. Hey, wait a minute. You're the manager here, right? Why is Makabe the young master? If anyone should be called young master, it's me. My young master is this man, and this man only. Ugh, but what's wrong with you? Yes, before he was the manager here, he was an old acquaintance of mine. Or rather, he used to play with me a lot when I was a child. Old Man Some. He's a longtime friend of my grandfather and father, and he's known me since I was born. It's a nuisance to cause a scene out here. Drunkard, this way, please. Pushed along by Old Man Some, Tojo was led away. The stares from passerbys were getting uncomfortable, so it was a big help. Once we were in the lobby, we continued our conversation at a more appropriate volume. Grandpa Some, I've told you to stop calling me young master, haven't I? I'm not the heir. I have always believed that someone like you, young master, is the most fitting heir. No, Dad's still active, and my older brother is better suited for that anyway. Besides, you know, I have this watch. When I showed him the watch that had just come back from repairs, Old Man Some's eyes instantly filled with tears.
Oh, young master. To think you're still using such a thing. I am so...
Calm down. This is a precious memory and a treasure to me.
Young master.
The one who gave me this watch was none other than Old Man Some, who was now weeping right in front of me. A graduation gift? You don't have to buy me anything. When I was about to start high school, Old Man Some asked me what I wanted for graduation gift. I didn't want to make him spend money on me. With that immature thought, I blurted out, "Then, can I have that watch you're wearing? You're gonna get a new one soon, right? If you're just going to throw it away, I want to use it." Around that time, his financial situation had finally stabilized. My words made his eyes widen, and then he smiled happily. As I was reminiscing and comforting the emotionally overwhelmed old man, Tojo, who had been frozen in place, finally spoke up. "Hey, Makabe, you know the manager here? And I thought I heard something about an heir." I was wondering how to answer when Old Man Some beat me to it.
The Makabe family has, for generations, owned multiple landmark high-rise apartments and commercial buildings in this area.
Wait, does that mean you're like real estate moguls?
What? You never said a word about... I didn't. In the first place, I'm not the heir to the Makabe family. My brother is the one who'll take over. I see. But still, if your family is that rich, you must have money too, right? It's true that I benefited greatly from my family's wealth. I never wanted for anything. But because of that, maybe it's strange to say, but I'm not really drawn to luxury items. What?
That's right. For the young master, luxury items were always just a normal part of his surroundings. His father and older brother used luxury brands as everyday items.
Yeah, it's not that I dislike them for it, but I guess I grew up in an environment where luxury watches and things like that were just normal. Normal? So that's why you were so unfazed no matter how much I bragged. Yeah, maybe so. Sorry about that. Sorry?
I see. So Yosuke, you haven't been coasting on your family's wealth, but have been standing on your own 2 feet.
Precisely. The young master was the only one who would play in the mud with an old man like me. I cannot describe the feeling I had when the 15-year-old young master told me that what he wanted more than anything was the watch that bore the marks of my hardships.
How wonderful. That's why you're such a captivating and wonderful person, Yosuke. I understand completely.
You understand. You are a lovely young lady with discerning taste. I do hope you will become the young master's bride.
Hey, don't just start planning my life over there. What the hell? If that was the case, you should have just said so. Were you laughing at me behind my back all this time, while I bragged every day? Of course not. Far from laughing, I've always respected you, Tojo. It's true that I was born the second son of a real estate mogul family that goes back to my grandfather's generation. But it's not me who's amazing, it's my grandfather and father, who built an empire in 2 generations. That's why I have to work hard on my own, and I never felt like I could just rely on my family's position. You, Tojo, were always proud of the money you earned yourself, right? That's why I respect you. Though I admit, you were a bit persistent. When I said it with a laugh, Tojo's eyes widened as he looked at me. If people knew I was the son of a real estate mogul, that would become the main impression they had of me. It had always been that way. When I started working, I wanted to do my best as myself, just Yosuke Makabe. That's why I didn't say anything. If you say I was hiding it, you might be right. I'm sorry, you two. I had been keeping a secret. Things might not be the same as before. The loneliness I felt as a child, always being set apart by my classmates as rich kid Makabe, came flooding back. No, if anything, it's amazing that you managed to hide your identity for this long. Even with a background like that, though it's still annoying.
That's right. We're employees of Love Koi Bank, you know? It's embarrassing that we didn't even notice. What kind of trick did you use, Yosuke? You really are an amazing person.
You guys. My hangover is completely gone. Hey, Makabe, we're continuing this at my place. Come on. What? You're gonna drink more?
I could still drink more too. I doubt the liquor you have at your place will be enough, Tojo.
You can just go home, Kiritani.
I won't let you take Yosuke home alone.
Watching me being dragged away, old man Some smiled happily and saw us off. Wow, Tojo, is this whole collection yours? Yeah, pretty cool, huh? These are the Love Koi cards I've been collecting since I was a kid. Be careful how you handle them. There are some super rare ones in there. Once we got to Tojo's apartment, he brought out all the liquor he had. Then he brought out a worn-out collection binder from his bedroom and started talking about it with the eyes of a young boy. I got a super rare one.
Whoa, no way, Takuma! It's the art rare of Sarina's Cabbage Patch!
Hehe, I've been trying to get this one forever. I can't believe I pulled it myself. This is the best.
And so, Tojo had loved trading cards, especially Love Koi cards, since he was a child. While he enjoyed building decks and battling with his friends, what he was most passionate about was collecting. When he pulled a card he wanted from a pack, his joy was so immense it would surprise everyone around him.
Huh? What an unexpected hobby. Oh, this one's cute. All the slots are filled.
They are. Hey, Kiritani, why are you getting so fidgety?
I don't know. I'm suddenly feeling this urge to be filled in.
How would you feel that?
I guess you're just another Love Koi heroine created by that artist after all. I'll add you to my collection if they ever make a card of you. Reluctantly, of course.
Tojo and Kiritani started growling at each other again. I ignored them, as usual, and looked through Tojo's collection. This is amazing! You've kept them in such pristine condition. You must really love these. And you've been doing this since you were a kid, right? Just being able to take care of things so well is an incredible thing in itself.
What's this all of a sudden? Is there a card you want or something?
No, that's not it. I'm just genuinely impressed. I was just thinking you're a surprisingly good guy.
Hey, Makabe. About all the crap I've been saying to you. I'm, sorry.
Huh. Yosuke, do you like this Buried Beauty series that much? I'll go get buried right now. Please make me your favorite and add me to your collection.
Kiritani? There's no way she, a heavyweight, could be drunk. This close, and she's completely sober. She's a dangerous girl.
Hey, you! I was trying to talk here. Move!
What is it, Tojo? Were you perhaps about to apologize? You can apologize to me too, you know.
Shut up! You should show me more respect.
No way! I'll never forgive you for all the mean things you said to Yosuke. Although, watching you go out of your way to find Yosuke, just to brag, you did seem like a little kid who couldn't be honest with his feelings. And now you're showing off this boyish hobby. If you want to be friends, why don't you just say so?
That's not... damn it. What's your problem?
How noisy. And yet, I feel a sense of relief in this familiar atmosphere. One that hasn't changed even after they learned about my family. Alright, you two, that's enough.
Yeah.
I love you.
The most peaceful and calming moment I'd had in a long time passed. In the end, they didn't let me go home, and I ended up staying at Tojo's place, talking all night until morning. And so, after that party, the weekend passed, and it was Monday morning. I came in early because I had some paperwork I wanted to get done quickly, but
I told you, that's not it.
what's that? Shouting? Is that Tojo's voice? The voice coming from inside the office made me pause for a moment. I thought he might be arguing with Kiritani again, but it seems that's not the case today.
I'm not doing any side jobs. The money I made outside of my main job was from investments.
When I entered the office, there were several female colleagues gathered around Tojo. Kiritani wasn't among them. They were from the customer service counter.
Investments? Not reselling trading cards whose market value has gone up? Isn't that a side job? You're using the money you earn from that to brag to everyone about how rich you are, right?
It wasn't just me and Kiritani who were frustrated with Tojo's bragging. The female employees who found it unpleasant must have overheard Tojo's small talk at the party the other day, leading to these suspicions about a side job.
Oh, it's been so annoying. Bragging about your luxury watches and high-rise apartment. I felt so sorry for Makabe, who was always your target.
Kuh.
Makabe is a mature adult, so he just let your bragging slide and kept things peaceful. But from everyone else's perspective, it's a real pain. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before Kiritani overtakes you in sales, don't you think? Besides, if you're really doing a side job, do you even realize you're violating company policy?
Well, that's why I...
Oh my, it's quite noisy this morning.
Branch manager, good morning, sir. As I was watching the scene unfold from near the staff entrance, the branch manager placed a hand on my shoulder.
May I hear the opinion of Makabe, who was the primary target of all this?
He gave me his usual refreshing smile and looked at me intently. I nodded and began to answer. After the party the other day, a sober Tojo apologized to me for his past behavior. After that, I got to know a lot more about him, and I believe him. Then, I explained to the branch manager why Tojo was being suspected of having a side job. I was once again reminded of how lucky we were to have a branch manager who always listens carefully to each and every employee.
I'm telling you, what I do isn't a side job.
While the branch manager and I were talking, the argument in the office had escalated even further.
Everyone, I've heard what you have to say. Let's all calm down a bit.
But branch manager, I haven't been doing any side jobs that would violate company policy.
Yes, I just heard everything from Makabe over there.
Huh?
But branch manager, he's reselling trading cards. Surely that's a side job.
This is a bit of a tricky area to judge, but let me explain. For example, if Tojo were repeatedly buying and selling trading cards to make a profit, that would be considered continuous transactions for commercial purposes and would be treated as a side job. However, if he is simply organizing and selling his personal belongings, that is considered disposal of unnecessary items or sale of assets and does not constitute a side job.
Even after the branch manager's calm explanation, the women still looked puzzled.
In short, as long as Tojo is selling trading cards from his personal collection, there's no problem. To put it simply, it's asset management, a kind of hobby investing. It's the same as people who own luxury watches, sneakers, or art as assets.
Hobby investing? I've heard of it, but wait, does that mean...
The woman seemed to have processed the branch manager's explanation. They then turned to Tojo with questioning looks.
So in your case, Tojo, is it for investment purposes? Or is it a hobby?
It started as a hobby, and the things he owned ended up becoming his assets. Tojo has been collecting love koi cards since he was a child.
Love koi cards? I think my nephew mentioned those. I've heard of them too. They're those trading cards that are popular with everyone from kids to adults lately, right?
Yes, they're trading cards that have been around since we were kids, and they're still incredibly popular today. Popular cards can see their market value skyrocket, and some single cards are even worth millions of yen.
Really? But there's no guarantee that Tojo isn't buying them just to resell them, right? I mean, he's the type to constantly brag about his luxury watches and high-rise apartment. Makabe is a nice guy, so maybe he's just covering for his friend?
I thought my testimony would be enough to convince them, especially since I was always the one he picked on, but I guess this is the result of Tojo's usual behavior. As I was trying to figure out what to say next,
Regarding that matter, I have already investigated it myself, so there's no need to worry.
Kiritani said coolly as she arrived at the office.
Like all of you, I was suspicious of Tojo, so I confronted him after the party. These days, their popularity has led to a social problem of people buying them with bad manners for resale purposes. I thought maybe Tojo was one of those kinds of bad adults, and then he...
Hey, Kiritani, that's enough. Tojo turned bright red and became flustered, but that wasn't enough to stop Kiritani's testimony. Trading cards are filled with the romance of all generations who love them. If the kids of today heard they couldn't buy them, the younger me would start crying. You know I'm right. The thrill of saving up your allowance, buying a pack and opening it? To steal that dream from them, I'll never become one of those adults. I'm an ally to all the boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen who love trading cards. Damn it all.
And then he burst into tears, furious at the unethical resellers.
I heard him say that too when the three of us were drinking at his place, so it's true.
Tojo? We're sorry. It seems there was a misunderstanding. We're sorry. We had no idea you had a childlike heart. If Kiritani says it's true, we believe you.
Gah, I feel like I've been completely humiliated.
Ha ha! Well, I'm glad the suspicion has been cleared, Tojo. You should thank Makabe and Kiritani. And also, your daily conduct. It's good to have assets, but try to keep your bragging to a minimum. Got it?
Yes, sir. I am very sorry. Tojo seemed to have learned his lesson from this incident and stopped bragging about his wealth at work.
Tojo, my son wants to get the new Love Koi cards that are coming out soon.
Oh, in that case, you should enter the lottery. You can apply here, and also here. I hope your son wins. I'll help you try to get them too.
Thank you, you're a lifesaver.
He also apologized to the female employees, and they reconciled without any hard feelings. This is how things are now. These days, having a side hustle is becoming pretty normal, but there are still companies out there that forbid them. Things like stocks, investment trusts, and crypto aren't usually considered side jobs since you're not technically working for that money. However, you have to be careful. If you're doing it during work hours or getting paid by someone else for investment advice, it could be classified as a side job.
I was surprised that he went as far as showing all of his flea market app accounts to prove he wasn't buying cards just to resell them.
He must have been really offended by the accusation. But, well, the reason Tojo gained their trust this time was probably because of the testimony from Kiritani, who's always bickering with him.
I just wanted them to believe what you were saying, Yosuke. But still.
Makabe, I got a new Love Koi card. Want to come over and see it? Also, Some keeps pestering me every time he sees me, saying he wants to see the young master. Do something about it. Okay, I guess I'll stop by tomorrow.
My senior colleague Tojo, who used to bother me with his constant snide remarks, has finally gotten over it.
Tomorrow? Why not today? Today is...
Not tonight. I've already asked him out on a date, so please don't interfere.
What? You? Since when? I had a feeling, but it seems Kiritani has special feelings for me. Lately, she's been asking me out on dates frequently, and I've come to realize her charms and find myself drawn to her. Maybe I'll confess to her today. I wonder if she'll be surprised.
I won't be surprised. Being confessed to by you, Yosuke. That would be the best thing ever.
What? How can you read my mind like that? Hey, Makabe, you better come over tomorrow, you hear me? And you two better be happy, damn it. Just remember, I'm your best friend. After Tojo learned why I treasure my old watch, he seemed to see a part of himself in me, the part that cherishes old trading cards. Since then, he started calling me his best friend. It seems he was just clumsy at getting close to people he wanted to befriend. Thanks to these two, who haven't changed even after learning my secret, it looks like my days will continue to be fun.
Hello, Brittany here. I don't think there is absolutely anything wrong with having a hobby that might be childish. I used to play Magic the Gathering. Oh my gosh, I didn't collect cards, but I know a lot of my friends who I met through Magic the Gathering collected tons of cards, and it's quite a complicated game, so don't judge a book by its cover. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Jenny!